How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
All right.
Um, and yes, I am. I happen to be exactly 18, so
Oh, what year were you born?
2006,
Perfect. Yeah, right
May
on.
11th.
Sounds
Yes,
like it.
man. So, I
Happy
was.
birthday or belated birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a little bit ago, but um, thank you. So
Hmm.
I was listening to your previous conversation, and I thought it was very interesting. I think that guy brought up some very good points, some things that I don't agree with. So just so I can kind of lay like a boundary of the type of things that I eat, I am
Hmm.
very much so animal based, but I eat regenerative, organic. I don't eat any fast food. I live in a small town and I buy from local farmers. One of the things that he mentioned about fast food restaurants is I'm also in a place in my life where if I go into a fast food restaurant, it makes me want to barf because that first off, the quality of that food is horrible. So I do think
Yeah.
that there is a chance that some of that could be coming from the sense of like, hey, like he made the point, I'm a vegan when I go into a fast food restaurant. It makes me sick to my stomach, but I'm not vegan. I'm very meat based. When I go into a fast food restaurant, I get the same feeling. And I do think that
Hmm.
part of that does have to do with, the carbs. There's so much grain. The cheese is low quality. There's so much bad stuff in that food. So when I
Hmm.
do eat meat, usually it is local, it's regenerative, it's high quality, and I don't support nothing that's anything that's not pasture raised, et cetera, et cetera. Um,
Hmm.
so real fast, something you were saying about the Bible. Um, so God obviously uh, values living creatures very much so, and I definitely do hear and agree with this point on what he said about how Jesus was like don't kill animals. I haven't read that verse myself, but I'm sure it's in there. I don't think he was lying.
I don't
But
think
also,
he exactly says don't kill animals. It's just that there are parts of the Bible that make it clear that that was God's intention. If that's your belief of the book, just
what do you
because
mean?
the Garden of Eden was supposedly perfect,
Yes, it
right?
was vegan. There's no death.
Yeah, and then the end times, there will be no evil in God's mountain.
So I
So
do I
even the
actually do agree with
lions
that.
won't consume the.
Yeah,
So, and then even in heaven, right? We're not going to use animals up there.
yeah, I agree with
So
that. I
I
agree.
would argue that God's preference would be that we're vegan, as we only used animals after the fall, if that's what you believe.
Yes, so that is something that we are totally on the same page about. But I like to look at all the verses and not just a secluded few. There are also verses
Right.
in the
If you're going to
Bible.
quote anything else where he's saying, you can live off of these animals, it is still after the fall.
It
He
is after the fall,
never he
yes. So
never
I
he
do
never
think,
said that before.
yeah, right. So and from a faith perspective, if I in heaven or whatever. I don't know what you believe, but just from my faith perspective, if I am not supposed to eat meat in a certain spiritual realm, then that's not what I'd be doing. But for right now, in the I guess the fallen form of Earth and humanity, it is
Hmm.
premised as doable. Like for example, obviously
Doesn't
Jesus.
God tell you, though, to live the best you can, not to just get by on what's allowed, right? You're supposed to
Yeah,
be as close to Him as possible. So, wouldn't that include living as godly as possible? And what I mean
yes,
is
but
not
the
harming
needs
others when you
the
don't need
needs
to.
Yes, I agree with you. But the need for meat consumption came after the fall because it wasn't just humans who began to eat meat. It was animals were eating each other as
Right, I
well. So
understand,
that is
but
something that is,
we have moral agency, which is different. So we can decide between right and wrong.
yes.
And I think you can agree with me. Well, I'll ask. Do you agree with me that you can thrive on a plant-based diet? Humans can thrive on a plant-based diet.
No,
You don't think humans can thrive on a
not
plant-based
not
diet?
totally, not totally.
Have you actually looked into this, or are you just
I've
assuming?
I've been vegan. I have been vegan.
Okay, that's not evidence though. That's just your personal experience. You don't even know if maybe you just weren't eating something. Like, did you confront a plant-based nutritionist?
Uh, I mean, I knew people who were,
So
yeah,
my
that I was,
So there are bodybuilders that are fully vegan.
yes.
There are runners that are fully vegan. They're just Joe Schmoes like me. I've been vegan 8 years. Totally fine. Like
So yeah, I
lots of
agree with
hair.
that,
Okay.
but
So
also,
that's why my personal experience doesn't matter. You should look at the broad picture with science And
Yeah, I
right
agree.
now, the science shows that humans can thrive on a plant-based diet. In fact, many bodies of scientists have agreed that a plant-based diet is actually healthy and safe for all stages of life, and you can
So
thrive on it.
I have seen what you are talking about. I do think that people can live off of plant-based, but I don't
So my
think that you are
question
able
was,
to
can you
thrive as well.
thrive?
Well, hold on. Yeah, I'm answering that. I do not believe that you are able to thrive nearly as much as you would be able to on a meat-based diet. For example,
Have you heard,
there are many vitamins and minerals that you can only find in meat that you cannot find in plants, like
name them?
creatine. Creatine?
Yeah, you don't need to eat that though. There's plenty of
You're talking
plant-based
about
sources.
thrive. You're talking about thrive. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
just get
you
along.
can still you can still get that on a plant-based
So
diet.
originally you said thrive. Now you're saying you don't need that. Those are two different things.
Well, you don't need to consume it, but if you want to, you can still get creatine on a plant-based diet.
You from where?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can look it up though. Let's see.
I can tell you right now that it is in fact
Creatine,
there is no creatine in any
vegan
plant.
sources.
Creatine does not exist in plants. It only exists in animals.
There's a synthetic creatine that vegans can
Okay.
get if you
I
really
don't
want.
see that's getting into the realm of not thriving. I don't want to eat processed foods. I want to eat
Bodybuilders
natural.
use all kinds of bodybuilders, including those that eat meat and dairy, still use protein powders.
Okay,
So
I'm
there's
not
nothing
bodybuilders.
wrong with taking it. Okay, so what to you means thrive?
What do you mean thrive? Because you asked the question.
Oh, I think that you can live healthy and long, and not only live long, but a higher quality of life if you were to eat plant-based. But again, I'm not here for your health. I don't care what you
Yeah.
eat. I just don't want you to
Okay.
use sentient
Okay.
beings. So
All right.
all the nutrition that you're looking for, you can find in plants. But I guess what I'm asking is what gives you the moral justification to take someone's life
Okay.
when they want to
So
live?
real fast, I do just want to clear this up when I respond to you. Like obviously, it's not in like a condemning way. I genuinely enjoy to have this conversation, and I am very
Mhm.
open-minded. Can you repeat that question one last time, please?
What gives you the moral justification to take someone's life when they wanted to live?
Okay. My moral justifications, and I'm gonna list them out real quick, and then you can respond. I won't interrupt you. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Moral justifications, right? With my background in faith, it is permissible by God in our current state of the world. My second moral justification is based off of what I've seen. The proof has pointed to the evidence that eating meat is healthier than just eating vegetables and fruits. And my
Can you
third
name a
reason,
study that says that?
like I said, you can find every single vitamin, mineral, and nutrient in meat that you can find in
That's not
plants,
true.
but you cannot find. Or okay, let's
Where's
see. So
vitamin C?
let me reword that. You can get vitamin C from liver.
Okay.
I
I don't
have it.
think I know many people that want to eat liver. I'd rather eat an orange than someone's liver. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no
You'd rather eat
point
what?
for you eat an orange than a liver.
Okay. Okay. Well, I
Okay.
eat liver raw, so I don't mind liver.
Yeah.
We're talking about my personal experience, why
Okay.
it's okay for me.
Do you
Okay.
agree
Well,
that
hold on.
animals
Let me
feel
finish. Let
pain?
me finish my point.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you because I don't care about the health aspect. I want to know what morally gives you the justification to take someone's life when they can't consent to what you're doing to them. You still haven't answered that. You just said my God says I can. But what if my God said I could take out my neighbor because he inconveniences me? Would that be moral? You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Okay. So I listed two reasons. I was going to list a third one, and then the third one is much more moral based of what you were asking. Can I finish?
Hmm.
Okay. So like I said, you were just asking why, morally would I see it okay? And my faith-based answer is valid. But animals do it to each other. It is something that is naturally seen in nature
We
in the
don't get our
wild.
morals from animals, though. Animals also eat their young if they're too small. They'll leave them behind.
Okay,
We don't do that.
so if that's, but you just asked me where I find them from.
I
That's
know, but
your
I just
reason.
debunked all
So
of your
then
reasons.
you
You're
didn't
being
debunk them.
inconsistent.
No,
I did. Because
you're being very
would you kill a baby if it's too small?
would I kill a baby if it's too small?
Yeah.
Like a baby human?
Yeah.
No, but you're making subjective
Exactly.
points.
So
I'm
that's what I'm
making
saying. You're looking at nature and cherry picking what you want out of there. You're cherry picking that they eat other animals, but you don't do the other things they do
okay. You said we don't get our morals from nature. First off,
from animals.
you're being subjective. I'm trying to make objective points. You asked me an opinion-based question where I get my morals from. So
Okay.
can you tell me
Do
where to get your
you,
morals from if I can't get
do
them from?
you, from
Hold on,
you?
real quick.
I don't need to tell you what's right and wrong. You already know.
I
Let
told
me
you.
ask
I
you.
told you my answer.
I
Okay,
know. Hold on. Can you let me ask you a question?
go
My
for it.
question is, do you agree that animals feel pain and that they have the
Yes,
capacity to feel joy and suffer? Okay.
yes.
Do you agree that it is immoral to harm someone when it is unnecessary or to use someone that cannot consent?
Repeat the question. Sorry.
Do you think it is immoral to use someone who cannot consent or to use somebody who has not consented to the treatment? Do you think that's
Um,
moral?
I believe it depends on the scenario.
If you don't have consent of an innocent person, you can do what you want to them.
Okay, you're saying if I don't have a consent of a human,
Of of a human. Let's just go with human for now.
what do you mean do what I want? Like explain what do you
Whatever
mean
you
by that?
want. Can you cross someone's autonomy without their consent?
No,
An innocent person.
no.
Okay. So what is it that makes a human different from an animal when we both agree that animals feel pain and have the capacity to suffer and feel joy?
Okay, so first off, going back to one of the original points, which is that animals do eat each other. So if you're saying what makes humans different from animals, now you're saying
So
why are
you really
humans different?
think that if an animal does stuff, you can do it?
Not in all scenarios, no.
Exactly. So why are you using this as a justification when it doesn't
Because
justify anything?
because the topic is can we eat animals? This is
You
the
sound like
topic.
a child that's like, Mommy, I want candy. Billy over there gets candy all the time.
No, the
That's what you
points you're
sound like
making,
when you
no,
go,
no.
animals eat each other. Why can't I eat animals?
Okay,
That's what
well,
you sound
so
like.
here's the thing. You're asking me for my opinion, and then you're saying I'm wrong due to something that's objective.
I'm saying you're inconsistent.
No, I'm talking. You're inconsistent because you said. Sorry, let me go back for a second. You said what makes humans different from animals, and then
Yeah.
when I say okay, maybe humans aren't that different from animals. Animals eat each other. Then all of a sudden that difference can't pass. So
Well, right.
you're being
We are
subjective. I'm trying to
moral
be
agents.
objective.
I've already told you that. We have
Okay,
the ability to weigh right and wrong. Animals are surviving out in a harsh environment, so it's not the same thing. They're
so okay,
consuming each other because they're in a harsh environment. We don't consume each other. We don't harm other humans just because it's convenient and gives us nutrients.
well, who you
We
don't think
know
there's
we
any
know that's
humans?
wrong.
You think there's no humans living in harsh environments?
Oh, of course there are, but I'm saying that
Okay, so
for the most part, a lot of us are there communities that you think it's moral for them to consume other humans just because they're in a harsh environment?
you just made another subjective
I
point.
just asked you a question though. Let's
So
say we
what
talk
was the
about those
question? What
humans
was
in
the
harsh
question?
environments. Let's say we talk about those humans in harsh environments. Is it moral for them to unalive humans to survive, to live in those environments?
Um, is it moral for humans living in harsh environments to unalive other humans? No,
Yes. Why not? They're
because of my
surviving.
faith. Because of my faith, where I am permitted to eat animals, but I'm not permitted to eat humans. That is literally the reason.
Where does it say you can't eat humans?
Do not murder.
Oh, okay. What if they're already dead? You can't eat their bodies?
I mean, I'm here. If you really want me to find that verse, I'm sure I can find a verse that says, "Do not eat other humans."
Look, it doesn't even matter. Your religion doesn't justify taking someone's life. I already pointed that out to you.
Okay, so
If I
where?
was to say, if my religion, let's say I have a book and my religion I think is right, and it says, harm thy neighbor if they inconvenience you, does that give me the moral justification to harm my neighbor because my God permits me to?
That would be your opinion. Yes, that would be your faith.
You wouldn't find it in your moral compass, though.
I
You
would
wouldn't
find it.
find that immoral.
I would find it immoral in my moral
Why
compass.
is it immoral?
Because
Like, why
listen,
is
that's
it
the
wrong
difference.
to take someone's life?
That's the difference between
Why is
objective and
it wrong
subjective.
to take someone's life, though, that
Why is it
wanted to
wrong to take
live?
someone's life? Because they're humans and because God has told us not to. That is my
But
reason.
why? Why does that matter? Why does it matter? Would you care about a non-sentient human?
Why? No, no, I don't.
Exactly. So it's because they're sentient, they're alive, they feel
No, no,
pain,
no,
and
no,
that they
no. I
want to
would
keep
care. No, I
living.
do care. I would care about a sentient human. I was about to say that.
Okay, why don't you harm humans, though?
Because it is a sin.
Just because there's a rule against it, let's say that God was like, I'm going to take this rule out. Would you just be okay?
Okay, so then so then because mine is objectively based off of what my faith's book says. So listen, wait, hold on.
I thought everything was subjective.
So tell me what is your reason not to harm a human?
Because I feel pain and I can suffer.
Okay,
and I
so
know
according
animals
to
can
you.
feel pain and suffer.
So according to you.
Yeah.
So it's because of your opinion. So what if I'm someone?
Yeah, but we have similar principles that we don't think it's right to harm others. Okay, here's another example.
But no, hold on. Can I respond to that real fast? Because you just responded. I let you talk.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you asked me why I think it's wrong to hurt humans or why I shouldn't cannibalize. I said because it says so in the Bible, which is the book that I follow. Right? Mm-hmm. You're saying that I shouldn't. That should not be my reason just because something says so, right? Opinions can change. You may have the moral compass in you instilled without the Bible that, hey, I should not cannibalize. I should not eat humans. What are you going to say to the person who lives on some remote island where it's normal in their culture to eat humans? Are you going to say, hey, well, it's my opinion? Because
I'm going to ask them, do they want to feel harm? I would ask them, do you want to feel harm? And they would probably say no. Because most people don't want to feel harm.
But that's normal in some places.
So if you don't like to feel harm, why are you subjecting others to it?
What do you mean?
If you don't want to be harmed or used without your consent, why are you doing that to others?
Listen. If I were in a nature scenario where I got eaten by an animal, nature's got to eat. I'm okay with that.
We're not in nature. We left nature. We're in cozy homes for the most part.
Okay, well that's you. Like I said, there's people all around the world.
For the most part. I know, I'm talking to you though. You're a moral agent surfing the internet right now. You clearly have some kind of comfort. I'm sure that we've already talked about, your food situation. We haven't actually talked about your specific food situation. You could still go vegan as you rely on your neighbors.
I can, yes.
Instead of bartering for animal parts, you can barter for plants. Or go to a grocery store and ask them to provide you things.
You're asking me my opinion as to why I think it's wrong to cannibalize. When I give it to you, when I give you the reason, you're saying the reason's not enough. And then you follow up with your subjective opinion. You're following up with a subjective opinion that you came to by yourself. If you can come to that opinion,
you're not being consistent,
hold on. If you're coming to that opinion by yourself, if that is your reason because you think it's wrong, and that justifies it, there can be other people who think that it is right, not based off of a book, based off of their opinion.
I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. You agree with me that harming others is immoral. Right?
I agree. I agree that unnecessarily harming humans and animals is wrong. Yes.
Humans can thrive on a plant-based diet. Therefore, it is unnecessary for you to take.
I don't agree with that.
That's science.
Well,
I think we're done here. I think you need to go do some research. I'm done. You need to go do some research. You can thrive on a plant-based diet. You're literally only arguing for your taste pleasure. And I'm just done. I'm done with it.